Will Ferrell's George W. Bush returned to SNL to compare the former president to Donald Trump. One of the most legendary Saturday Night Live impressions during the 2000s was Will Ferrell's take on President George W. Bush. When he hosted the show on Saturday, January 27, Ferrell's George W. Bush returned to SNL to get nostalgic about the former president's 2 terms in the White House, as well as compare his tenure to the current president, Donald Trump. Ferrell's take on Bush was consistently hilarious from 2000 until 2008, and the impression returned with its usual funny trademarks, misquoted quotes, mixed-up words, and awkward pop culture references. Ferrell's return as Bush occurred in the cold opening of the episode, with Bush sitting at a desk in the Oval Office, just like old times. Bush immediately addresses that, "This is just a set. I had it built in my basement so I could pretend to be president sometimes." He shows the audience a super soaker so he can drink more water and his newest oil painting, Doggy Goes to Space. But while being busy with painting and getting his fan art from the University of Phoenix, Bush states that he noticed, "My approval rating is at an all-time high. I'm suddenly popular AF." While he was pleased with that occurrence, Bush says he felt the need to remind the American people of just one thing: "I was very bad. Like historically not good. So I get why you don't like this current guy. But please do no look back at my presidency and think, singing, this is how we do it." Ferrell's Bush recalls many of the Bush year blunders, which occurred in what seemed like a more innocent time before Twitter and fake news. "Who has 2 thumbs and created ISIS?" Bush says, then pointing to himself. "This guy." He remembers former Vice President Dick Cheney's heart issues. Dick Cheney was literally heartless. That time an Iraqi reporter threw shoes at him. "Shoe me once, shoes on me. Shoe me twice. I am keeping those shoes." And that time that Bush didn't win the popular vote either. Remember the 2000 presidential election? But Bush reminds us the difference between his 2000 presidential election win and Trump's Electoral College victory in the 2016 presidential election. "Back in my day, we didn't let Russians rig our elections," Bush says. "We used the Supreme Court like Americans." Ferrell's Bush confesses to feeling bad for Trump, but not because he's a Trump synthesizer or anything, but because it seems like people don't like Trump, especially according to the new book, Fire and Furbies. "The biggest difference between me and Trump is I have friends," Bush says, right before bringing out SNL cast member Leslie Jones as Condoleezza Rice, Bush's Secretary of State and National Security Advisor during his presidency. Rice arrives to watch his favorite movie, Minions. He confesses to Rice that he was talking to the American people via Twitch. Together, they reminisced about the Bush years and sang a version of the classic All in the Family theme song. Those were the days. The lyrics will definitely give you some 2000s nostalgia. Boy, the way the game was played, everybody knew their place. Cheney shot a guy in the face.